Yo soy Ricky, tengo 28 años y yo estoy buscando por el amor de mi vida. Así no, mi loco. Así nos hablamos. Que lo que mi gente, yo soy Ricky de Bilingüe Vlogs y gracias por estar aquí conmigo viendo otro video. If you don't know me, besides being a language learning content creator, I am also an online Spanish teacher, and many of my students commit these mistakes here, and many of my students make these mistakes here, so I want to make sure that you are not. Some verbs in Spanish require prepositions after them. Many verbs do actually. Enamorarse de. Me enamoré de ella. We have de after the verb enamorarse. That's a verb that has a preposition after. However, there are some tricky verbs that in English, maybe they do need a preposition after, but in Spanish, they don't. So I want to clear up 5 of those for you. If you want a part 2, 3, 4, and more for this video, I need you to hit that like button. I need you to comment down below with your practice examples after you learn what I'm going to teach you today. And I also need you to subscribe to this channel and share this content with people who are learning Spanish. Mira, queremos crecer aquí. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so help a brother out, ¿ok? Ayúdenme. Pero, muy bien. Vamos a comenzar con el primer verbo. We're going to start with the first verb that does not need a preposition, and that verb is pedir. This is what I hear when a lot of you guys are using the verb pedir. Whoa, ella es muy bonita. Voy a pedir por su número de teléfono. Así no, mi loco. Así nos hablamos. We don't use pedir por.
Why don't we use pedir por, Ricky?
Well, because when we use pedir por, what you're saying is to ask for. The verb pedir already means to ask for. Entonces no tienes que decir pedir por porque no tiene sentido. Por ejemplo, el oficial me pidió mi cédula. The officer asked me for my cédula. Another example, yo vi a una mujer y yo le pedí su número. I asked her for her number. I didn't say yo le pedí por su número. Le pedí su número. There are always exceptions to the rule. So when will you use por after pedir? Por is a word that can be used meaning on behalf of someone. So if somebody can't do it, you do it on their behalf. So if you're ordering something for someone, then you can say pedir por. But that's only in that situation. Por ejemplo, mi novia fue al baño, entonces voy a pedir por ella. My girlfriend went to the bathroom, so I'm going to order for her, on behalf of her. Le llega, ¿tú entiendes? Give me your practice examples down below because we're going to move on to the next one right now. Yo soy Ricky, tengo 28 años y yo estoy buscando por el amor de mi vida. Para español, o prima dos. Así no, mi loco. Así nos hablamos. So next we have buscar. ¿Qué significa el verbo buscar? It means to look for, to search, or to search for. Pero guess what? It doesn't need after it. Guess. Por. It does not need por after it. We don't buscar por nada, okay? We buscar una cosa. Yo estoy buscando mi celular. Estoy buscando mi celular. No sé dónde está mi celular. Buscando mi celular. No, I didn't say estoy buscando por mi celular. Some of you may want to look for somebody. How does that work? Would you buscar por tu hermano? No, you would not. However, you do need another preposition there, and it will be a. Por ejemplo, in a song by Selena, she was like,
Cuando de repente me preguntó, ¿buscabas a mi hermano?
¿Buscabas a mi hermano? Were you looking for my brother? So if you have a person after it, like the title of that person, the name of that person, after the verb buscar, then you will need to say a. Busco a alguien que sepa bailar bachata. Busco a unos estudiantes nuevos para enseñar. Así es como funciona la palabra buscar en español. Yo estoy mirando a mi celular y no veo tu número. El próximo verbo, mi gente, es mirar. Mirar, because you guys always want to say, oh, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. Well, mirar doesn't need help. It does not need mirar a, because guess what? A doesn't mean at when it's after a verb. It typically means to, or it's just a personal a that means nothing, but it's just a sign of respect that that person is an individual, a human being, so you put a there. So if you are looking at something, then you just say mirar and then the thing, right? Por ejemplo, yo estoy mirando mi cama. Ahora miro la cámara. There's always exceptions, like I said. So if we hear mirar a in any context, it's going to be to. Por ejemplo, mira a la izquierda. Look to the left. Mira a la derecha. Look to the right. Notice I didn't say look at the right or look at the left, because that's not what I'm saying. So if you want to look at something, you will say mirar. Well, I mean, since we're talking about the senses, estoy escuchando a un nuevo álbum de Bad Bunny. Así nos hablamos. Let's keep it real. Same thing happens with the verb escuchar, okay? Escuchar, to listen to, it doesn't need help. It doesn't need a preposition at the end of it. Oye, yo estoy escuchando la nueva canción de Fade. I'm listening to Fade's new song. But I didn't say estoy escuchando a la nueva canción de Fade. Estoy escuchando la nueva canción de Fade. Exception. What is the exception here? When you have a person that is the object of your sentence, then you are going to have to put the personal a. Entonces, yo siempre escucho a mi madre. ¿Escuchas a ese hombre? Are you listening to that man? When I have a person, personal a, I have to put that there. But besides that, if I'm listening to another sound, I don't need to say a, porque no tiene sentido, honestamente. No tiene sentido, mi gente. If you're liking this video and you haven't given it a like, what are you doing? ¿Qué tú estás haciendo? Dale me gusta, por favor, mi gente. Whoa, amor, no te preocupes. Yo soy el hombre, yo pago por la comida, no te preocupes. Así no, mi loco. So y'all like going on dates. A usted le gusta salir, entonces you gotta pay for something when you go out. But when you go out, don't say pagar por, okay? Don't say pagar por, because we ain't pagando por nada. We pagamos la cosa. We don't use pagar por. There are exceptions, we'll talk about those in a little bit, but if you're talking about paying for something, to pay for something, then you will just use pagar and then la cosa. I know it sounds weird, I know it sounds funky, pero así funciona en español, ¿ok? Muy bien. So, for example, estamos en un restaurante, estamos comiendo and I'm like, vámonos. Y dicen, tenemos que pagar. Y yo puedo decir, pues no te preocupes porque cuando tú fuiste para el baño ya pagué la cuenta. I already paid the bill. Entonces, pagar and then the thing, that's how that works. To pay for something, pagar la cosa. Now, I know that in Spanish you have heard pagar por, but in what context have you heard it? Por, I told you before that por is used for on behalf of someone, which it still could be used for that here, but it could also be used for exchanging things. So, por ejemplo, yo pagué $5 por esta camisa, o yo pagué $300 por este celular. If I'm talking about the exchange that happened there, like, how much I paid for something, then of course I can use por. But if you're talking about just paying for something in general, not talking about the exchange that went on there, but like you're paying something off, you're paying something, pues tú sabes que tú tienes que usar pagar y ya. Okay? I told you I would do 5 today. I thought about doing a bonus, but let me see if you like this video first. If it helped you, you already know what to do, but make sure that after you watch this video, you watch it again to make sure you understand what's going on. And also, you comment down below with your practice examples. You guys, I make these videos to help you guys to learn Spanish para que puedan hablar como nativos. Entonces, you gotta put it into practice for it to stick with you. Ya tú sabes. Pero hasta aquí el video de hoy, mi gente, y nos fuimos.